podcast now, right?
Yes.
All right.
All right, whenever you guys are ready.
Welcome to another episode of the Sportsball podcast. I'm your host, Alan Mark, and then over here to my left is Mark.
Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to Sportsball, where we sports harder than the outside of a stale chiclet.
No one wants that.
It's hard. That's why nobody wants it. We sports harder.
We sports much harder.
Yes.
But you will like our hard sportsing.
Yes, and you won't like stale
real
chiclets.
talk. Do chiclets actually stale?
Yeah.
Like,
they do, right?
Like I feel
like everything stales to a point.
I feel like that outer exterior preserves the inside
It's
of the
not like a
chiclet.
Twinkie.
Well, no. Well, Twinkies can
Twinkies
stale.
do expire. Yeah,
They
I
definitely
realize
stale, but they don't stale if you keep them in the packaging.
Yes. Generally, because you need it out like in the air, right?
that. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's my intro. Deal with it.
It's happening. All right, and then over in the booth-ish area is Chuck.
Hey, I am not going to be on camera because there's not enough space for the camera, but hey, sports fans, I will be alive and well, just not in visible form.
Yes, and you can see we do have a camera now, so you can see our dumb faces while we talk
very
about
dumb faces.
Sports.
Chances are you're gonna see me do that little nerdy thing where I like push my glasses up, like a matter of fact. And those are Chuck's fingers.
Oh hey.
Oh, he's gonna try and crush our heads. Not like you do that when you're
And yeah, and our last guest,
our final member.
I was thinking he's not a host.
No,
That's me. Our final member, Tyrone. We mentioned last time he was getting married.
Oh yeah.
That happened. He got married last week, so he is off on his fun little honeymoon right now. So congratulations to Tyrone.
Hey man, that was a fun
And
weekend.
Mylene,
though.
yeah,
Congratulations to the newlyweds. They're in Rome right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
My time in Rome.
I think that's their
What's
hashtag.
their
yeah.
hashtag?
That's a hashtag.
My time in
Rome.
Rome. So yes, congratulations to them. They looks like they're having fun, which is phenomenal.
It sucks though because they got to miss the fight that was in the making for 5 years last night.
Yep.
To everyone's, I guess, disappointment.
Well, I guess we're gonna
finally-
get to
Yeah,
that.
it depends on perspective.
Yeah, nice little segue though.
You're
Chuck.
welcome. I
Yeah.
got you.
So yes, our first topic, after a very sports-filled Saturday, May 2nd, was the fight of, I guess the century.
Yeah, well,
century?
yeah,
essentially the
century's
century.
new, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, us millennials.
The fight of the first 15 years of this century. But yeah, it's finally happened.
You didn't have to put 15 years.
I
dude.
can't wait for-
Everybody realizes that this is a new century.
It's 2015.
That's the stipulation. That's why we have numbers.
This is how I talk.
God.
I can't
Alright.
wait. I can't wait until the fight of 2850 when Zip Zorp
Fight Zanu Kima.
For the light, heavy galaxy weights.
for the Flash. the
The Jupiter weights, if you will.
It's like just like these 300-ton like
pound.
beings. Like
They're not even swinging punches. They're just rolling into each other.
Anyway,
It would be planet-sized, wouldn't it?
the
anyway.
undisputed hyper light champion of the universe.
If
Okay, Jimmy
our
Pardo.
if our alien overlords are currently listening to this podcast, please take pity on our podcast and realize we are talking favorably to you.
We are very excited about your future fights.
Yeah, all hail Zip Zorp.
I want that to be. I want that to be our
slogan.
Our slogan now.
All hail Zip Zorp.
Sportsball, all hail Zip Zorp. Okay, get back to sports.
All right, yes. So the fight that actually happened was Mayweather versus Pacquiao. The fight we've been wanting for 5 years at least.
And it looks like it was 5 years too late to many viewers, actually, with the fight being as one-sided as it was. A very disappointing result if you are a Pacquiao fan, which you know most of us here are.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell, like, if you watch the fight, you could tell, like, Pacquiao went into it knowing it's going to be more of a defensive kind of fight going against Mayweather. and like really didn't play up to his strengths as much.
Yeah, and to Mayweather's credit, he was the one who dictated the pace. He dictated the fight style. It wasn't as if Manny Pacquiao, thought he was going to win that way.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that he was planning on forcing Mayweather to deal with his pressure. But Mayweather, being the defensive savant that he is, he could just force all of those. You could just force the inaction on Manny Pacquiao and just pot shot from the outside, which he did brilliantly.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
I will say it's strategically well played. Well, strategically well played on Mayweather's part, because everyone knows how, I guess, for the lack of a better word, boring his game is. But it's been able to get him wins, and he pretty much looked like traditional Mayweather, to like nobody's surprise. It's just unfortunate, because I feel like Pacquiao didn't really have an answer. Like he kept attempting to bait him, or
he did not.
And like every time, like Mayweather just Mayweather pretty much just just ran back the entire match and just waited for Pacquiao to make a mistake.
Mistakes, which Pacquiao made a lot of.
Yeah,
and Mayweather made him pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never, like, I know we've seen Pacquiao have like a nice offensive strategy, like with his past fights of yesteryears, but I don't know. This one seemed it wasn't the same Pacquiao I've been used. I don't know what that can.
Oh no. It definitely isn't the same Pacquiao that we were used to seeing. 4 years ago, when he was blitzing his opponents, being super quick and putting up pretty much defensive, offensive onslaughts, just punches and bunches, dip into the side, creating angles. He wasn't able to do that today, mainly because he's older. He can't doesn't have the foot speed and the power that he once had. But also, you got to give credit to Mayweather. Mayweather fought his fight. He made Pacquiao scared.
He looked way stronger.
Yeah. Here's the thing. A lot of people say that Mayweather has pillows for hands. That's not the case. I mean, if he really did have pillows for hands, then people would be walking through those counter punches. Nobody would be fearing that. He has enough power to make opponents think twice about bum rushing in. And it's not just his timing, but he actually lays a little bit of wood right behind his punches, giving it that little bit of oomph just to make the opponent think twice, like, okay, I can't keep going in like that because it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much felt like this is kind of what at least I expected out of the fight, that Mayweather would really like set the tone, and like Pacquiao would kind of expect it, maybe expect a little too much and play into it. This feels like they would like prepare a lot for like the different kind of counters that Mayweather would kind of like.
Yeah, the only way Pacquiao was going to defeat Mayweather's strategy was to put in feints and then come in quick. Mm-hmm. But Mayweather, he was very smart about when to throw, when not to throw. He didn't fall for the feints. He was being measured in all of his punches and all of his movements. Every time he was found himself in a corner, he backed off and just pretty much slid off to the side and found himself in the center of the ring. And then whenever he was trapped on the ropes, he would get into his defensive position, and block most of the punches. Even though there were times where Pacquiao had the punches and bunches, Mayweather, basically put up a body shield.
Yeah, and like Pacquiao was only able to land like less than 20% of his punches, which like I think it was around like 18. I remember like at like 10 rounds or so, it was like 18%.
Yeah, and here was the thing: like if you were to go by the audio test when you were watching the fight, you would think that Pacquiao was connecting on all of those punches because everybody was cheering and yelling for Pacquiao's flurries. But in reality, a lot of those either missed their target or hit blocked. A target that was either he was either blocking them, he swung and missed that air, or he just hit a body part where it's just not going to cause damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And then that's basically how the fight went the whole time. And, yeah, I mean, expected.
Yeah, everybody, like, when we watched it yesterday, everybody in the room got real quiet because they knew that Pacquiao lost.
Even after, like, the third round, like, third, fourth, like, the mood just dropped. Like, you just saw, like, you saw somebody you weren't used to seeing.
Yeah.
And it was kind of off-put, like, it's just kind of out of nowhere. And, I definitely sensed the vibe in that room. It's just, like, just this deflated, like...
Yeah.
No, it definitely wasn't the fight anyone was anticipating. It was everybody expected to be much more of a firefight. You know, if you are a Pacquiao fan, that's what you always want. You know,
I want to see. Yeah, I want to see blood. I want to see like swollen eyes.
And that's it. Yeah. That's like the thing with Pacquiao. Like he's such like a showman. He loves entertaining people.
Yeah.
And like that's why it really reflects in his game how like he like quick flurries of punches against his opponents. You know, and you really didn't get that a lot in this fight. Even though it felt like, I mean, it was. I feel like it was a good fight for what it was, of more like defensive.
Yeah, what it was. I mean, it was just a tutorial on defensive counterpunching.
Yeah, yeah.
And how to deal with an opponent who's faster, who's just as fast, and who's stronger, but isn't quite as sound fundamentally.
Yeah.
Do you think that the whole combined underdog mentality and just his showmanship and whatnot, like, clouded his better judgment of how he should fight against Mayweather? Like, do you think he should have played Mayweather to his own game as well?
No, as a fighter, you shouldn't. You should stick to your strengths, but you have to modify your strengths, and in order to force the opponent to adjust to you. You know, you can't adjust to opponent because then you're just playing his game, and which is what happened. We saw.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
Pacquiao ended up adjusting to what Mayweather wanted to do.
Yeah, and Mayweather he took advantage of it.
Yeah. Like I was thinking, like, what if Pacquiao backed off a little bit
backing
more?
up? Well, he wasn't gonna win that way.
Yeah, that's not his game.
He's shorter. He needs to get inside. If he keeps backing off, that works to Mayweather's advantage, because he can just Mayweather can move forward and he can just pot shot from the outside. There's a big difference between Manny Pacquiao moving forward, initiating the action, versus Mayweather moving forward, not really initiating action, but just clocking him from the outside, showing that ring generalship that he has shown throughout his career. You know, if you're taller than your opponent, you just, hit him with jabs, and then swing with a power punch here and there, and you're going to win the round because the guy, he's just backing up.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there really isn't much else to say about the fight.
Yeah.
I think what we can say is that Tyrone and I were correct.
Shut up, man.
Alan, Mark and Mark were incorrect.
All right. Just to recap from our little parlays from what is it called, Super Bowl weekend, we all made combination picks, and I was the big loser because I chose the Seahawks and Manny Pacquiao to win.
Yeah, I got the Pats, but Pacquiao.
Yeah, and Tyrone went Seahawks Mayweather.
Yeah.
And the big wiener sitting in the production booth, he's the big winner. There he is.
That's his finger.
See that?
That's my shots.
Ass. He got them both right. I guess that means we need to buy him something.
Oh God, we do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We gotta get him some nice whiskey.
We'll look back.
Before we move on, I just want to quickly mention the sideshow that happened before the fight of the amazing Jimmy Kimmel looking like Justin Bieber walking in with Pacquiao.
So
I thought
good.
it looked like a combination of Justin Bieber.
He looked like
2
Run
Chainz and a
DMC.
cowboy.
Yes, that is the best way to put it.
He looked more like Run or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
he had a run.
Run.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Oh, and how freaking the Burger King was right behind Mayweather.
Well, I guess because Mayweather wanted to have everybody, have the fans have it their way. I guess.
Is that this
Yeah,
again?
Burger King, have it your way.
Okay. I like rarely eat at Burger King, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Whoops.
what do you mean? Oh yeah.
We're not getting that endorsement.
Yeah. By the way, our
Dasani.
Dasani.
Dasani. Purified water. That's not a slogan.
So good.
I guess. I mean, like it says it here. Enhanced with natural planet bottle. All right, whatever.
Anyway, yeah, that was the fight.
Yeah, man. That was the fight.
Luckily, it also kind of coincided with like the in between of the first round and second round of the NBA playoffs.
All right. Here's the thing. Everybody was all hyped up for the Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
However, that Spurs Clippers game though.
Spurs Clippers game 7 was
Yeah,
probably the
that
best
was-
thing that happened.
Yeah, that was the
day.
most. That was far more competitive. I think
Like-
that was the matchup that we wanted the Pacquiao fight,
to be.
Pacquiao Mayweather fight to be.
Yeah. Like, sorry Kentucky Derby. Sorry Manny
Yeah.
and Floyd.
The best.
Sorry remaining of the NFL draft.
Yeah.
That no one watches.
Yeah.
The best sports thing of that night or that day was Spurs Clippers.
Yeah, the back and forth, up and down action.
Ooh.
Oh my god! Oh
That
my lordy!
Like this year's first round of the NBA playoffs has been pretty like meh.
Yeah.
Except for the Spurs
For like,
Clippers.
and there had been signature moments.
Yeah. Like
here and
let's like go over them real quick.
Yeah.
Because like Warriors, Pelicans.
The one thing that we're gonna remember from that series is
It's Stephen Curry's game time 3.
the game time, the 20-point comeback.
Yeah.
In the start of the fourth quarter, and mind you, with 5 minutes left, they were down 17.
Oh yeah, those offensive rebounds were key.
Yeah.
And the thing about that series was it was a sweep, so like in history it's gonna be like, oh okay, they swept, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like that was a tough series for the Warriors.
Yeah, no, by no means was that a traditional sweep. That was a hard fought series.
Yeah, like Warriors had to work for every shot because Anthony Davis was just everywhere.
Yeah, the eye test, if you were to take it, you would think that the Pelicans were a better team than the 8th seed in the West. And to be honest, they are. They just happen to be in the West.
Yeah.
And second of all, this was an eye-opening moment for the league and probably the casual fan. And it proves something that I think we've all really known.
That Anthony Davis will be a beast in the
Yeah,
NBA.
He's a monster. I believe he's also going to be the heir apparent to LeBron James in this league.
He's gonna I wouldn't be surprised if he got 2 or 3 MVPs at the very least.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That was series. There was also the Rockets Mavs series where the Mavs basically just internally combusted.
All right.
Thanks to Rondo.
I think Carlisle, he adjusted too late. It's obvious that Rondo wanted out.
Mm-hmm.
Rondo wasn't working with the team concept. And for what it's worth, Rondo is not a bad player. He's just a bad fit.
Yeah.
I've heard many stories that he's a very intelligent player.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that intelligence can manifest in tension with the coaches.
Yeah.
With not just coaches, but with other players, because they know how to play basketball, but they also want to do it their way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess another thing to take away from that series, Dwight Howard looks healthy and scary.
Dwight Howard, him and Josh Smith working together.
Yeah.
Those best friends since high school AAU days. They look like they've been playing together their entire life. Mm-hmm. They know each other's tendencies. Josh Smith has become a revelation in Houston and in the playoffs. He started hitting threes. Those no, yes threes that he was signature for in Atlanta.
I think now it's just like they're mostly spot ups and they're wide open.
Yeah. James Harden is giving him the space and he's giving him room to operate. And I think that's, the way Josh Smith should play. He shouldn't really play within the form of a scheme. He should play, he should
More
be
open.
a freelancer,
Mm-hmm.
He's there to cause chaos.
Yeah. And also watching them play. Those 4 or 5 pick and rolls are really fun.
Yeah, they are.
With Josh and Dwight.
Yeah, Josh and Dwight, both super athletic.
Yeah.
Both skilled. No, well, Josh Smith is an extremely skilled passer.
Yeah.
He's always been a good passer, even coming out of Atlanta. You didn't really see it in Detroit because Detroit was just a giant mess.
Yeah. Yeah. What else happened? Oh, the Grizzlies Portland series.
That was
If
trash.
anything, that was just a sad series because, especially the Blazers, they were just injured and it was just sad to watch.
No, that was really sad.
And what I did enjoy was watching Zebo and LaMarcus Aldridge just go at it in the post every night because that was actually really fun.
Speaking of LaMarcus Aldridge, do you really think that he's leaving Portland?
I feel like there's a good chance. I'm not going to say he's certainly leaving, but I feel like it's about 50-50 at this point.
If it's in terms of wanting to win, I think his best chance to win would be to stay in Portland. They are building something good there.
Mm-hmm.
If in terms of him, wanting to get money and him wanting to be, a feature player in the spotlight for like commercials and stuff, he's gonna have to go to a big market and perform.
But if he wants to win, though, I
would say,
feel like the teams I've been seeing the most tied with LaMarcus have been the Texas teams.
Yeah, the Texas team,
which would be great for.
If he were to go to the Spurs. In that system where you have a big who, plays defense, but on the offensive end is so versatile and you can hit an outside shot and stretch the defense out, primarily for back cuts and just general cuts toward the lane and drives, he would be perfect for that system. And shifting Timmy to the center spot, that's a formidable 4-5 tandem.
Yeah, it's
Chuck is
that would be like that would honestly be too perfect if he would be there.
Chuck is
yeah.
He's
anyway,
he's gonna show something.
One series that I was really disappointed that actually had happened was, or how it happened was Hawks Nets. Not the fact that the Hawks won. I like that the Hawks won. It's just the fact that the Nets were in the playoffs in the first place and that they pushed the Hawks to 6 games because they're just a frustrating team to me.
Oh, the Nets?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, Darren Williams, when he caught fire...
Yeah. He looked
like the Utah era.
Yeah, he had to throw back games a couple times.
But for what it's worth, a team full of veterans, old veterans, but veterans nonetheless, you shouldn't be this bad.
Yeah.
Especially when, you guys were... You three, their top 3, Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, and Brook Lopez... That could be pretty formidable.
I feel like just not good fits all around.
Yeah,
it's a weird team.
Yeah.
And then the Hawks just couldn't hit anything that series. It was a really weird series, and really weird. If you watched it, I'm sorry, that was weird.
It was not good.
Yeah.
I think the Nets might actually be better served just because the way that they can be used is if they got Jerry Sloan, they got Jerry Sloan to somehow be a part.
I don't think that would never happen.
Yeah, no, just to get Darren Williams back to his early days.
Yeah,
and then running the pick and roll with Brook Lopez.
He's not a pick and roll.
No, pick and pop.
Pop. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, there's that, and then then there's the even more depressing Wizards Raptors series.
That was trash
because the Raptors just couldn't play basketball.
The Raptors proved that they were a regular season quote unquote playoff.
I don't even think it's that. I think this just the team that was really like a flash of the pan kind of thing from the point where they traded Rudy Gay last year to December of this season. Like that was really the only time they were an actually good team.
Yeah, because when you take a look at their roster, they're not very well constructed.
No, it's like they have talent in places, but it's not not fully developed.
Talent.
Yeah, it's not cohesive and it's not fully developed.
Yeah.
So they're I expect Masai Ujiri to really shake things up this summer and kind of blow things up.
Yeah. Or swear at another rally.
Yeah.
And no, I like it when like people in top positions like square.
Yeah, I mean this shows how much passion he has. I love Masai. I think he's a great GM. And the Wizards are actually looking like one of the best, like probably looking like the best team of the East so far.
All right, yeah, we'll hold off on
Yeah.
that. We might want to get to what
For the
happened
second round.
today,
Yeah.
actually.
All right. Cavs Celtics also happened.
Oh, you mean when Kelly Olynyk took Kevin Love's arm home with him?
That series was like
Dude,
surprisingly
he had such
like
sour grapes.
that's,
And I understand, you know,
there were like flagrants all around in
yeah.
that series.
Oh man, that was a rough. I'm not gonna say that was physical. That was a dirty series.
Oh yeah.
The way that it ended up playing out.
JR with that hit on
that spinning MMA back fist.
on Jay Crowder.
Yeah, that was a clean shot too.
That was not cool. And then Kendrick Perkins just like imposing his Kendrick Perkins-ness in there. But yeah, I mean that series didn't really tell you much except that the Celtics could be fun in the future.
Yeah.
They have a pretty bright
They're
future.
building something.
Yeah.
They're building something nice.
I like Marcus Smart a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I really like Marcus Smart.
Dogged defender, you know,
He hustles a lot.
A lot of energy.
Yeah. And the Cavs are still kind of coasting.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what, for what it's worth, you're in the East. I guess you can coast.
You can coast.
Which is why we desperately need realignment.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they still have LeBron and Kyrie, so it's like they'll have the talent advantage in most series.
Yeah, but when you start, you know, playing, you're in the second round now, so you need every advantage you can get.
Yeah.
And by losing not only Kevin Love for the rest of the playoffs, as we've come to find out, but also J.R. Smith for the first two games in your second round matchup, that's pretty devastating because those two players alone space out the court.
Yeah, and Kyrie and LeBron use that a lot.
Yeah, it allows Kyrie and LeBron to operate with not only, you know, within the arc but also within the key too.
Yeah.
You know, forcing the opponent's bigs to have to either come out for Kevin Love or forcing perimeter the prevention of help on the perimeter from JR because, you know, they had to stick to JR, otherwise he'll make a three.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens because their playoff future is kind of looking a little like hazier now.
Yeah, especially going up against the Chicago Bulls.
Which that series against Milwaukee they almost blew it until that sixth game when they're like, oh wait, no, we're actually much better than this team.
No, we're Chicago, they're Milwaukee, and watch us demonstrate that.
Let's blow them out by 54.
They got real salty.
But in games, what were those games 4 and 5? They looked bad.
They looked really bad.
Yeah. But did you see Game 6? With how Mike Dunleavy was gooning it up the whole game, which caused
Giannis
because he pushed Giannis's face earlier in the game.
Yeah, he pushed him
and then he pushed
in his face and he pushed him down. Yeah.
And then pushed Michael Carter Williams as he was going up for a layup, which was a dirty play.
Yeah. You never want to do that. That's how you get hurt. When you're midair and somebody shoves you in a direction you're not meant to go.
Yeah, and that's which led Giannis to just totally bulldoze him after he shot a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he deserved a flagrant 2 and ejection and suspension, but the league needs to maintain what Dunleavy's doing too, because what he's doing is not cool.
Yeah. I think the refs are going to be in the second round in particular. And we got damn it, Chuck. I like this though. I like the fact that he's behind there, like really.
I was just focusing on getting relative images going on. I like how you can it swipe from the left also.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Sad Jordan.
Yeah, and then
Stop. Okay.
Do you want to talk more about Spurs Clippers then?
Oh yes, let's talk about that
because that was the really only really good series.
Yeah, and I think we knew from the beginning that it was going to be a good series.
Yeah, every game was close.
Yeah, that was the series everybody circled as must see TV, and to its credit, it was everything and then some.
Yeah, and a lot of people were upset that we were getting it in the first round.
Yeah, which again realignment.
Yeah,
Adam Silver.
Yeah,
Get
but
to it.
the Spurs also wouldn't have been in this position if they did not lose their last game to the Pelicans.
Yeah. It almost seems as... All right, we'll discuss this later, but it almost seems as though the stars are aligning for a Warriors championship. We'll get into that later.
Yeah. But, God, Blake Griffin was so good this series.
Blake Griffin was good for most of the series.
Yeah.
He had a couple of brain farts along with CP3 and
those are
DeAndre Jordan. The typical Clipper. Like, oh, they're the Clippers. They're going to screw it up again. This was them exercising a whole bunch of postseason demons they've had for a while. Taking out the Spurs, who have been a bane to Chris Paul his entire career in the playoffs.
I think. Like I remember, what was it, game 2 or 3 when Blake had like those 2 bad turnovers.
Oh, it was definitely game because they were back at Staples Center, right?
Yeah, it was an overtime game. Yeah, but in spite of that, like Blake Griffin was doing such a great job this series. Not only scoring but like passing out of the post. Yeah, and like just like creating other shots for his teammates, like for JJ Redick and Matt Barnes.
What was it, game 1? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember.
One it was. Yeah. Either way.
Yeah,
he had 2 bad sloppy ball handling turnovers, which definitely cost them the game. And then you had the game where Chris Paul. They basically had the game 1. It was the same game. They had the game 1, and then now they don't. And then Chris Paul, after a made layup by the Spurs, I think it was whoever it was. Chris Paul went Super Saiyan Angry Hulk.
Oh, right.
Like they acting like a man who knew they just gave up the game.
Yeah.
But in typical fashion of Chris Paul, he won Game 7 for them. Yeah. It was a back and forth ordeal. Neither team really getting a really big advantage. It was always, especially in the second half, it was always within of 7 points either way.
Yeah. Like I talked about how Blake was like amazing this series, but Chris Paul was really the reason why, he was like a big reason why the Clippers were able to win this series. Like really because Chris Paul willed them into the second round.
Yeah. Chris Paul made that a miraculous off the hip side bank shot. Yeah. Driving in with 1 second left. It was amazing. Yeah. He did what he needed to do. That's him. It's basically telling the Spurs not this time.
Yeah. He's showing why he is the point guard. Yeah. Like it's really like.
Wait, hold on. He is a maestro at point guard.
Yeah.
But don't forget, there are other up and coming point guards.
Oh yeah, but Chris Paul is still
he's still the prototypical, if you are building a team, he is one that you would want guiding that team.
Yeah. No, he's still,
especially when he was younger.
Yeah, he's still one of, like, you could argue he's the best. He's definitely top 2, 3.
Yeah, definitely top 2, 3 point guards in the game.
Definitely. But I mean, even though the Spurs lost, that was honestly like they easily could have won that series.
Yeah, definitely. Kawhi Leonard was a defensive monster. Mm-hmm. He was disrupting. He was disrupting everybody. He was causing chaos.
Yeah, and
Timmy D, man.
Duncan is he's 39. He just turned 39.
He doesn't look 39.
He's playing like he's still in his prime.
He's playing like an all-star.
Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much how he's gonna do like that little off the shoulder, like kind of like weirdly kind of like push it from his right hand when you think he should go left, but he pushes on his right hand. What's happening every time, but still like you can't defend it.
You can't, no.
Like he made DeAndre Jordan look like a fool in game 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. And he blocked a couple good shots too.
Yeah.
A lot of veteran moves, a lot of veteran savvy. For one block on Blake, I believe he used DeAndre Jordan as a prop. Yeah. And trying to get up there because he's not getting up there on his own. He kind of needs like a step ladder, and he used DeAndre Jordan to do it.
The thing, it's kind of amazing with how good Tim Duncan has been in his career, and like especially defensively, he's never won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Who, really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just
You would assume so because most defensive players of the years have been front court players. Yeah.
But I guess like his defense is not the flashy kind of defense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he's just there. He's a brick wall. He doesn't allow shots, but it's not like it's not like he's not
Stop.
like he's not showy like Dwight Howard is on defense. Oh my god. This is the first time we have a video, and we should have never given Chuck this power.
Never given Chuck this power. He's doing everything and anything.
I need as much sad Michael Jordan.
Can you give me the context of this?
It's Michael Jordan crying.
Yeah, I know it's Michael Jordan crying, but why is he crying?
Isn't he like winning an award or something? Like that?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Was it from like
Hall of Fame?
No,
Maybe.
I think it was like a North Carolina or Charlotte like business
Event.
owner, and he got an award or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Is there anything else?
Chuck?
Is there anything else from the first round you wanted to touch on?
No, actually, it's there and gone.
All right, yeah. Now on to the second round. Today we're recording this on a Sunday, May 3rd. So the first two games of the second round already happened.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Very good games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawks.
Well, not if you're a Grizzlies fan.
Yeah. Hawks Wizards was first, which kind of sucks for Atlanta because they only have a 2-day 36-hour turnaround.
Yeah.
From game 6.
Well, that's kind of their fault, you know.
Yeah.
It's their fault for lollygagging against the 8th seed.
I don't know if they were lollygagging. They just couldn't hit anything.
Well, that's still their fault, isn't it?
For not making shots.
Yeah. No. All right. Just because you can't make shots doesn't mean you can't stop defending.
Oh yeah. But I mean, yeah. It's just.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Give him the Jordan. There.
There it is. Anyway.
Can you do that anytime one of us gets salty? All right.
So yeah, but yeah, because of that 36. I mean, even still, in spite of that 36-hour turnaround, they look good at the start of the game. The offense, I feel like, was.
Oh yeah, the first half definitely.
Yeah, the offense was clicking for them. Corver was getting open at a whim.
Yeah,
and
threes.
Yeah, like you could tell, like, oh, this is like this Hawks team is back. Like it looked like they were back.
Like they were running their premier, Spursian.
Yeah, like ball movement.
Yeah.
Get open shots. Yeah, they were playing really great offense.
Playing the game, and then the second half happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, the fourth quarter, their offense just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's so much just their offense, but the Washington Wizards, they played a brilliant defensive game. They were not giving them space. Yeah. They were tracking them through the back cuts through.
Yeah, they were staying. They weren't giving help.
Yeah.
Which really stops the ball movement.
They were playing man.
Yeah, and it really went into their favor.
Yeah.
The thing this game also was kind of concerning because there were injuries.
Oh yeah.
It kept happening. Like John Wall hurt his wrist. Bradley Beal had a bad
sprained his ankle.
Teague also had an ankle sprain earlier in the game too.
Yeah. It was I think if there was a we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right. I think if there was a something to take away from this series is that it's going to be a dogfight. It's not as easy as everybody assumed it was going to be. It wasn't just going to be the Atlanta Hawks coasting.
Yeah, because you could tell Nene and Gortat are really gonna make it kind of a muddier game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And the perimeter defenders on the Wizards are really they're actually good defenders too.
Yeah.
Like John Wall's probably the best defensive point guard. Him it's either him or Chris Paul.
Okay.
And then Beal's not bad. Paul Pierce is still he's old, but he's still still has moments when he could defend one-on-one.
Hold on, Chuck, don't play that yet. We'll get to that. All right.
Anyway,
I'm just getting ready.
I don't know what is showing and what is just you getting ready. We're new to this actually, so I'm very impressed.
This is all live, so you're watching me get ready.
Oh, okay.
Live.
So what do you expect out of the series? Besides, you said that it was going to be more of a.
Which one? The Hawks Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Look, what I seen from Washington, I thought it was going to be easier for the Hawks because I thought that they would roll into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Coming into this matchup, like they finally got the first round monkey off their back.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're going against another team who isn't as strong as it should be.
Yeah.
That team has a lot of talent. That talent isn't very well constructed to succeed, based on just a lot of people hate on Randy Whitman, and I guess it's warranted, but to be honest, I don't watch enough Wizards basketball to make that distinction.
Yeah.
But you have John Wall and Bradley Beal, arguably one of the top 3 backcourt tandems.
Mm.
And you got Nene and Marcin Gortat, 2 really good front court players. And you have veteran leadership in Paul Pierce. So you should be. They were the 4th seed. Oh, they were the 5th seed, right?
5th seed, yeah.
They should have been at least 4 or 3 in my eyes.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing like Randy Whitman, I never really thought he was a good coach.
Yeah.
But even though he's been coaching really well in the playoffs so far.
Oh, yeah. He seems like he may actually be like one of those coaches who coasts through the regular season, and then when it comes playoff time, he decides to pick up the clipboard.
Yeah, it's like or still trying to figure out which side the clipboard
yeah.
goes. But
he keeps drawing permanent markers, so they have to keep switching out the clipboards.
Yeah, maybe now that playoff Rondo isn't a thing anymore, maybe playoff Whitman or playoff Randy is the replacement. Do you have a prediction? Do you want to predict? Do you feel comfortable predicting?
Yeah, no. That's the whole point of commentating on sports. Is you want to put in predictions. Put yourself on the line. Yeah, coward.
It's okay to be wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong.
All right, I'm calling you a coward.
I like like when I'm wrong, I'll be like, yeah, I'm wrong.
All right. Well, I really like the matchup because remember how I think we talked about this before, but the Atlanta Hawks have a really well-constructed team, but nobody on that team will carry them in the clutch. Mm-hmm. There's nobody they can like just funnel the ball to and say, get a basket.
Team basketball.
The Wizards have that. They have that in Bradley Beal. They have that in John Wall. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say, I think it's going to be a hard-fought series, but I think, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I think the Wizards win in 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm right there with Mark.
Yeah, honestly, if you asked me before today's game, I probably would have said Hawks in 7. Like, seeing how well the Wizards have been playing, especially just killing the Raptors in that series. I also would have thought that Atlanta would find its groove back, which they kind of did today, but still wasn't enough. If you asked me before today, I would have said Hawks in 7, but like Wizards in 6 is looking like the smarter choice.
See, here's the thing: like when the Hawks get in that rhythm, I feel like when they do it, they don't do it long enough. But during the regular season, they're blowing so many teams out that the team just give up.
Yeah.
Now it's playoff; they're not gonna give up. Yeah. So those offensive spurts need to come more often, and I just don't see that happening with this Hawks team.
Yeah. So we're calling it Wizards in 6.
I say Wizards in 6.
Yeah.
All around.
All
Wizards.
All right.
Definitely Wizards.
Yeah. And then the second game of today, Western Conference showdown between the Golden State Warriors and Memphis Grizzlies without Mike Conley.
All right. Granted, it's without Mike Conley, but even with that, it's that basic styles fight. You've got the pace and space, launch up threes, transition game with the Warriors. And with the Grizzlies, you have the grit and grind, throw it in the post, back you down, score, smuck up the game, slow it down, get really physical kind of brand of basketball of yesteryear.
Yeah. So
now it's come to a fever pitch where both of these styles have come to meet each other in the playoffs. And you know what? It's exciting. It's a little scary. But from what I've seen in the regular season and what we've seen actually today, it's that the Warriors who are constructed the way they are constructed now are built to handle that type of team.
Yeah, like especially when they got Bogut back, when they have now having Bogut and Draymond becoming the player that he is now, they're really able to match up decently to like that big on big attack that the Grizzlies have. Yeah, and like I mentioned it, how the Warriors had like trouble with the Pelicans because Anthony Davis was all over the place.
Yeah, he was able to switch out on the perimeter and then drop back into the post and be that fearsome shot blocker.
Like the Warriors were having so much trouble shooting perimeter shots and getting things inside because of Anthony Davis. You're not going to get that problem against the Grizzlies.
Yeah, those two big behemoths, those mammoths, they're also slow of foot. They're fast in terms of big guy standards, but not fast enough to recover on these the
quick guards,
quick Golden State guards.
Yeah, and you saw that today. Even though Mike Conley wasn't there, who was probably their second best perimeter defender.
Which, by the way, his eye has gotten better.
That's one way to put it.
Oh my God, it still looks terrible.
Yeah.
Can you get Mike Conley's face and like just juxtapose it on mine while I'm talking? But we'll wait till you set that up. But
yeah, like you were able to, like, if you watched today's game, you were able to watch Stephen Curry was able to launch threes more often than he did in the first series, and get to the paint a lot easier.
Yeah, like Stephen Curry, he was a magician. That guy could not be stopped today. There was one point where he had a crossover on, I think, Beno Udrich.
Yeah,
he was anticipating the screen, but he just left him flat out behind.
Yeah.
And then we had Zebo like hedging on him.
Yeah.
On a switch. And then Curry just stops on a dime and he leaves Zebo on skates going the other way. Curry backs up and he launches a three. Of course, it's nothing but net.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes to show you that they really need Mike Conley because, one, offensively, you know what you're getting. He's going to run that pick and roll perfectly. He shoots well enough from the outside to be able to make you pay for doubling, and also he shoots. He can drive to the basket. He's a dog. He's a tough defender.
Yeah, and out of all their perimeter players, Mike Conley is the best two-way player out of all of them.
Yeah, it's such a shame. Like for me, when I heard Mike Conley was out, a part of me was happy. But another part of me was very disappointed that I didn't get to see. I'm not going to see Mike Conley and this Memphis Grizzlies team, at its best. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, like I don't think it would have changed the series that much, but it would change it enough for it to be a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more competitive than the 80-something to 100.
Like 86.
Yeah, basically a 15-point win.
Yeah.
And we're also going to talk about how Draymond Green.
He is that is the perfect power forward that you want against the Grizzlies team. Yeah. Because he creates so many matchup problems for them. Because he could hit the threes. Like the 1-4 pick and rolls are perfect. They work perfectly against his team.
Yeah, Zebo's not going to be able to close out.
Yeah, they can't close out on his threes.
No way they can close out on him.
And he can't keep up if they decide to like hedge Steph.
Yeah. And even if Zebo sticks up close, Green's just going to drive by him.
Yeah.
He's going to blow past him. And defensively, they had a great defensive plan where they had Bogut guarding Zebo, making sure that he can't get to where he's comfortable in the post, and just being a general menace to Zebo. And you have Green on Gasol, which Gasol got his points, but for the most part, Green made it uncomfortable for him.
Yeah. Green, in spite of being really undersized, Green is really good at not giving any space to anyone in the post.
Yeah. So for what it's worth, Green, like that matchup is just terrible. You would think that it would be great, but that
because
matchup
he's undersized.
that matchup is terrible.
But he's strong, quick. He's strong enough, quick enough. Like, yeah, it's really bad for Memphis.
Yeah, it is really bad for Memphis, especially since their perimeter, players will not be able to defend. Tony Allen can. Yeah. It's just either between Nick Calathis, who is a good defender, but just not today.
Yeah. Speaking of Tony Allen,
Oh yeah, Tony Allen.
let's see. In spite of the blowout, this game was a complete blowout.
But
But
before,
honestly, it was the most entertaining game because during a timeout, so the Warriors have this like junior jam squad where it's like a bunch of kids that do a dance routine.
yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, they're great. During that routine, Tony Allen, I guess, like he just walks on the court through their routine and just like, oh, you guys are doing
Dude,
something.
this lad, I don't
You
know
guys are
where
doing
his
something?
mind was at. He ain't got no chill. He's just walking through, and he could have occurred to him that they were kids who were half his size doing coordinated, like synchronized movements. Something's going on, dude.
And then like and then like at the end of it, he like looks back as if he just realized he just walked through that, and he was like, oh, okay. And then he sees the nearest kid and like gives him a high five. I'm like, okay, Tony
Yeah,
Allen.
Chuck, can we see that real quick? All right, there you go, doing
he
his
just
thing, and then
walks
he's just
through.
walking through. Just
and the kid dancing like a pro, just like sidesteps. So it's like, but still
what
doing
the
it
hell?
perfectly.
Like Tony Allen, do you not realize what's going on? Oh my god. Yeah. This did not please the Warrior crowd one bit.
Okay, Warriors fans will like they don't tolerate a lot. Like they already like hella get on refs for everything, but you do not mess with the junior jam squad.
You don't mess with the kids, man.
So every time Tony Allen touched the ball, just a rain of boos
Like
would just
intense
come down
boos.
onto the
It wouldn't
crowd-
be like
onto the
what
court.
fans would give refs the boos, or like it's obvious that we're not fans of the Clippers.
Yeah.
The Warriors are not fans of the Clippers. And whenever Blake Griffin gets the ball, people are going to boo or Chris Paul. But this type of boo, this was a boo of like epic proportions. Like if you were to think back in the Roman days, if people were to boo like this, you would be killed in the stadium as a gladiator.
I think honestly, I felt like part of like a lot of the booing was for fun.
Yeah.
Just because it's like
They did
like why would you do that, Tony Allen? Why would you mess with these kids? Like mess with these
the
kids?
same time, like not just like you would be killed like in the stadium, but they'd like let out a lion.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, that's it, you're done.
A lion
Don't even
named-
finish fighting.
A lion named
Your
Andrew
food.
Bogut.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the booing was probably for fun and just like villain, just like adding another reason to villainize this team they're up against.
Yeah. And speaking of the Golden State crowd,
Yeah,
they were on point.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
they were great.
They were great. Oracle Arena has a reputation of being not only the rowdiest, the loudest crowd in basketball, but also the most engaged.
Oh, yeah.
Like every time you see Curry like cross up or do like a little sleight of hand move that is subtle, but it's easily easily discernible as a crafty move in basketball terms. You hear the crowd just go ooh in unison, and you know what? It sends shivers up my spine every time you hear them go oh whenever like Curry like crosses up somebody or do a magnificent play. And then right when the ball is rotated all the way up to the 3-point line, you can hear a collective inhale throughout the arena anticipating a three. Then right when it's let go, you can hear like portions of the arena just go three, and then as soon as it's hit, we just go bonkers. And the crowd chant, I know every NBA team has like their unique chant. The Spurs have Spurs go. I don't know I know Brooklyn has. What does Brooklyn have?
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
that one's kind of weird.
That one's
lame.
kind of weird. That one's a little lame.
I know Memphis has
Nets.
whoop that trick.
They have whoop that trick. I love that. That's great. I love whoop that trick. But then the Warriors have a loud, unified but haunting
like Warriors.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
it's like
so
it's a
good.
much better version of the Brooklyn chant.
Yeah. Oh
I
man,
kind of want them to
it's-
do like the actual Warriors chant from the Warriors movie.
Warriors come out to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just I just want to hear like this hauntingly like echoing like Warriors.
That's almost mocking in a sense. I don't want that.
Yeah, I feel like the other team would try to do that at one of their home games.
Yeah. And just to get back on the game, Klay Thompson had a great game.
Yeah, no, I feel like
he had an okay game.
Yeah.
Curry had a great game. Obviously, you had Mike Breen in his signature Curry for 3, bang, he knocks it down. You heard that often, and Curry was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond Green, he was on point, and the bench obviously contributed. But who I really liked seeing come out of his shell? Second round playoff Barnes.
Oh yeah, playoff Barnes is a real thing.
Yeah, the reason why we didn't see Barnes like this play in the playoffs last year is because we didn't get to the second round.
Yeah, and you could see Barnes was just hustling everywhere, going for rebounds.
Yeah, he was engaged. It may not have shown up in the box score.
Yeah,
but he had 11 points though. That's pretty good. But
is that a plus 18?
Yeah, he has a plus 18 and a plus minus.
Yeah, plus minus is it's a stat that's on and off. It's not necessarily indicative of how you play.
Yeah.
But I feel like this one is very adequate for Barnes.
Yeah, for Barnes. If you were to take it, in a vacuum, you probably, you wouldn't really take it so seriously. But in the context of what you saw in the game, it's brilliant. Yeah. It works.
I mean, it says he only got 3 rebounds in the final box score, but that doesn't show you how he was going for everything. Every miss, he was going up for it.
Yeah, he hustled.
Yeah, every loose ball. He was really kind of all over the court. Yeah, he didn't score too much. A solid 11 off 4 shooting, which is good, but it's only 4 attempts.
Yeah, that's really good. It was really good.
Yeah, just the fact that
Ezeli had some great minutes off the bench too.
I mean, I feel like there weren't any Warriors that really played badly.
Yeah, I think all the Warriors who had played significant or really significant quantifiable minutes in the game had scored except for David Lee.
Yeah,
but David Lee's coming back from injury,
and he didn't even play that even
but
well.
You saw the energy. He got a couple offensive rebounds, he took it to the hole. He wasn't and he was putting in effort defensively against Randolph.
Yeah, it was it showed that the Warriors are legitimately
yeah, that's a great combined effort actually. It's a great team effort. I mean, Spates had his signature, mid-range, hitting mid-range too, getting fouled, hitting a.
Yeah, Spates was great off the bench. Actually,
yeah, he was really good. He was really good. He's coming back into form, and that goes with the matchups. We're gonna need multiple bigs to play in this series, just to wear out Zach and Mark.
Yeah, definitely. All right, how do you expect this series to go?
Without Conley, I had thought that it was going to be a sweep.
Mm-hmm.
I know Conley's going to be back for that third game. I'm not saying the Grizzlies are going to win that third game, but I think they're going to take a game at home just because it's the grit and grind. It's the grind house. They're a really good NBA arena, and their crowd is good on their own. And their home court advantage is really good. And don't sleep on this Memphis team. They are, they are the 3rd seed. They're What's the 5th? They're the 5th seed in the West for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
However, just because it's a terrible matchup for them now, it never used to be the case, but it's a terrible matchup for them now. I see it Warriors in 5.
Mm-hmm. Chuck, do you have
Warriors in 4.
Oh yeah.
Warriors in 4. You're going for a sweep?
Another sweep. I mean, even if Conley's back, I think.
Yeah.
Still.
Him and his hamburger eye, dude.
Maybe they'll reduce.
Can you put that up there? I feel so bad for him, dude. That. Ah, man. But let's call it what it is. That's a really gammy eye right there. Yeah, pretty gross.
They'll reduce with Conley. They'll just reduce the amount of points down by 10 points instead of 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the same. Oh god.
Oh god.
I'm in the same boat as Chuck. I think it would be a sweep. Conley would matter, but it would just turn from blowouts to just closer games.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think this team the Grizzlies could contain Curry at all this series. Even with Tony Allen,
hounding him. Yeah.
Like even with Tony Allen on him, like Clay's gonna get open.
Yeah.
Barnes is gonna hit those corner threes.
Yeah, Barnes starting to come back into
Yeah.
form. I really liked what I saw today.
Yeah. It's just like all of a sudden the Memphis, like the Warriors are just a really bad matchup for the Grizzlies,
Yeah.
which has never been the case before this season. Yeah.
All right.
Just want to touch upon like the other two.
Oh yes,
Like,
which are
quickly-
great series on their own.
Quickly
Right?
hit those guys up.
Yeah, just like quick predictions. So in the Eastern Conference we have Cavs Bulls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which is gonna be interesting because the Bulls are on and off, inconsistent,
Yeah,
while
very.
the Cavs either could roll coast or, and they're also injured.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So this is a little bit more difficult to tell.
yeah.
They're not gonna have J.R. Smith for 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it very hard for me to say they're going to win both of those games. No, I think the Bulls pull out one. They take one at Cleveland, but because of the inconsistent nature of the Bulls, who looked like they were coming into stride up until they ran into trouble against Milwaukee. I'm gonna stick with my original pick with the Cavs moving on to the finals, even without Kevin Love. Just because that 1-2 tandem punch of Kyrie and LeBron, I believe that they can carry them this series, especially with the additional help that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, LeBron carried the, was it 07? No,
7 Cavs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he just carried that all the Cavs teams in general.
Yeah. But he did not
don't
have
really have
a
to
lot
name
of
a
talent.
year.
He
Yeah.
really didn't have a lot of talent outside of himself. Yeah. So how many games?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Cavs. You know what? I'm gonna say Cavs in 6.
Yeah,
and 6?
going with that too.
Yeah.
6 or 5.
I feel like this series is gonna go 7.
Ooh,
Because you're good. I feel like the Bulls are gonna have a lot of like they're gonna have at least 3 good games where Rose looks like old Rose. I feel like Mirotic is probably gonna have some games where he just goes off from the bench. And they actually have like guys that can check, not necessarily LeBron, but then they could put a guy on. They could put Butler on Kyrie to kind of slow him
they
down.
would put Butler on Kyrie.
So,
and they'd probably try and put Snell on LeBron.
Snell and LeBron, yeesh.
No, I mean like that's who else are they gonna put?
Yeah, they're gonna have to. But yeah, but in spite of that, I think it's gonna go 7. But the smart thing to do, and I feel like if it's in 7, you go for the home team, which would be the Cavs. So I'm gonna go Cavs at 7.
All right, so we're all for the Cavs, just different.
Yeah, you 2 and 6, me and 7.
Yeah.
And then the last series, Rockets Clippers,
Ooh.
which would be a freaking bloodbath. These are 2 teams that no one likes, and they're going up against each other.
These 2 teams they love to dunk the ball. They love to get in transition. They also had a lot of foul shots. Well, the only reason that the Clippers had a lot of foul shots because it was intentional. I don't think we're going to see that anymore. Pop is out of the playoffs.
I
That's
felt
going to
like
be an exciting
the
series,
thing-
though. That's going to be a good series.
This happened in the first round. They might try it, but it's gonna be okay. They fouled DeAndre,
Yeah,
and then
then
he
he
shoots them,
fouled-
and then they fouled
fouled
Dwight,
Dwight.
and they're like, "Oh,
Okay,
we're
this
not gonna
isn't
do
worth
this
it."
anymore."
Yeah.
Because they did that with Dwight and Rondo in the first series,
Yeah.
and then it's like it's not worth it.
Not worth it.
Yeah. So yeah. This is gonna be a fun series. They have 2 incredible playmakers with Chris Paul
Yeah.
and James Harden, and then just a front court of incredible athleticism
Yeah.
and defense. So
And also, their benches suck.
yeah, their benches kind of do suck.
Yeah, their benches suck.
Houston's is better, but it's still not too strong.
Man, those starters are going to get run ragged.
Yeah.
And especially if they're going to have one of these teams are going to move on to the Western Conference Finals, chances are their starters are going to be dead dog tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're going to either play Memphis, probably not,
Or the Warriors.
or the Warriors, probably, who will run you out of the gym.
They'll run you out of the gym, and if you try to muck it up down low and like make it ugly, the Warriors could make it just as ugly. Yeah.
It's not going to be good for either team.
Yeah.
And by the way, the track record with the Warriors for either team, which worked out really good in the Warriors' favor since the Spurs lost, because the Spurs were the only team that the Warriors have a losing record in the regular season against. The Warriors are 3-1 against the Clippers, and they're 4-0 against the Rockets. It's a terrible matchup for either team to face the Warriors.
So who you got?
I think this is the game. This is the series that I think goes in 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the Clippers.
Clippers in 7?
Yeah.
Chuck?
I was thinking about this while we were watching the Warrior games, thinking like who would be good for them to go in the Western Conference Finals with, and it's hard because I'm in like two places where I want a good series, or I want the Warriors to have the easiest time. I think I'm gonna go with good series and go with the Clippers.
Yeah.
I think it will be harder, but still manageable. Not that much harder than if they were going against the Rockets. But man, there's gonna be so much hype beyond that matchup. So I just want that. I just hope it doesn't turn out to be a Mayweather Pacquiao.
How many
matchup.
games do you have?
Oh yeah. By the way.
I'm gonna go with 6 Warriors.
Clips in 6?
And the Houston Rockets. Sorry.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Western Conference Finals.
I'm already moving ahead.
Yeah.
Is it final season already or final time? No, I'm going with I'm gonna go with 7. No, 6. 6
Clips
for
and 6.
Clips.
6 and Clips. Clips and 6.
Slips and flips.
Clips.
Clips and zips and zorps.
Zorps.
Okay, but my thing. Even though the Rockets are actually been kind of injured because they lost Monte Eunice and Beverly, like I feel like Dwight is really finally back to being 100% healthy and looks like 2,000% better than he has in the past 2 years. Harden has looked a little pedestrian comparatively. But I feel like he's gonna get out of that funk eventually, and it might be in this series.
Because they're not calling fouls like they would in the regular season.
Yeah.
It's the playoffs, man.
Yeah,
Toughen up.
yeah, but I'm not sure the Clippers have I don't know if they have really the people that can contain Harden, because they have JJ Crawford, Matt Barnes to try and Austin Rivers to try. Yeah.
The only one who's going to be able to check him is quote unquote Matt Barnes, and he's not the defender he used to be.
Yeah. So, and honestly, I just see Matt Barnes just picking up a whole bunch of fouls.
Yeah, frustration fouls.
Yeah. I mean, sure, DeAndre's there and he's gonna scare him out of the paint, but also, I feel like Harden's gonna kind of pick off where we left off.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Rockets in 7. I want to see Chris Paul in the Western Conference Finals. I want to see like him get that far, but I feel like the Rockets are really just gonna be too good for them.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a hard fought series. I think it's gonna be 7 no matter what.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think we pretty much covered everything we wanted to.
Yeah, that's the entire first and second rounds plus some Manny, Pacquiao, and Mayweather talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, dude, feeling good.
Yeah,
this is going to be a great sports month.
I know. NBA playoffs are now that we're out of the drudge of the first round. The playoffs are going to be so much better now.
The playoffs have begun.
When should we talk about hockey?
No.
Like playoff hockey's great, especially if you don't have like a rooting interest. But it's also
secret. I'm not a hockey fan.
It's also like, I don't have the energy for it right now.
Yeah. Just focus on one sport at a time.
Yeah. It's really hard to focus on your others. Like, I'm a Giants fan, but I haven't been, even though, they haven't been doing that great, I still would watch them judiciously, except we've all caught Warriors fever here. I think they play a brand of basketball that is so engaging and so exciting that you can't do anything but except devote your entire attention to their games and to how they're doing.
Yeah. So it's tough, especially if we want to be fans. Like if you are fans of a fan of multiple sports, Like it's easy when the seasons don't necessarily coincide,
Yeah,
but
when there's no
the N-
overlap.
Yeah, but the NBA and NHL season are essentially right at the same time,
Yeah.
which makes it hard. We'll try, maybe.
Yeah. We'll do a better job at it. I guess. Somebody has to take over the hockey.
Yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
definitely check out the Stanley Cup.
yeah, because
finals,
you're definitely a bigger hockey fan than pretty much all of us.
I don't know players anymore though, but I'll try. But anyway, yeah, this is our podcast. Welcome, thank you for listening to us.
Yeah, and you actually got to see our faces.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. We're gonna try and do a lot more video content, sports ball wise, just because we want you guys to check out our beautiful faces.
Oh shit!
Oh, what's wrong?
Now that we have video, you guys are gonna slap me.
Yes.
Well, we were always gonna slap you regardless.
Yeah.
Well, no.
And yeah.
Almark, you can't just slap me out of it. You have to tell me.
The greatest,
of course.
The greatest part was that we stopped
Are
caring.
you getting ready?
No, I'm not gonna do it now. Tyrone needs to be
Tyrone
here.
needs to be there.
Okay,
But
good.
we
so you can have more witnesses.
We stopped caring about it, and you brought it up, and now
Yeah.
we care about it. So it's
It's
your
not-
fault.
It's still gonna happen.
So yeah.
God. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that
Devil
Chuck
tears.
is like. I don't like the fact that Chuck is in control of the production booth.
Why?
I don't know. He has like godlike power right now. You shouldn't give that much power to one man.
No one man should have all this power.
Shouldn't give all this power.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Hey,
hit that subscribe button if you
Yes.
hit that subscribe button on YouTube because we're gonna put a lot more sports ball awesomeness. And if you're watching this somewhere else, go check out our YouTube page at the Gallant TV Net.
Wait.
Oh, you're getting that ear.
Get the other ear.
No.
All right, get it off, man.
And make sure to follow us on Twitter at The Gallant TV and check out our website, thegallant.tv. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The audio version of this podcast will go up on iTunes, Stitcher, and Shout Engine. So make sure to subscribe to our podcast.
Yeah, keep an eye out, guys.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to listen to when you're at work.
Yeah.
Gain some knowledge while at the same time maybe laugh at our stupidity.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Or watching.
We'll get back to putting out regular podcasts again. We're
Yeah,
the
once Tyrone.
Yeah, now that we're not doing the whole wedding thing anymore.
We finished that. So he's married now. So we're done with that.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a couple weeks again. And thank you for listening. And remember to always go sports ball.
Go sports ball.
Go sports ball.
Chuck, you're an ass.